Dear friends, welcome to another episode of Saturday Wisdom with me. Today, I will analyze a few post-COVID scenarios in education for you so you could look at options that will stand in good state in times to come. The disruption caused by coronavirus has allowed the educators, its administrators, and all of us time to rethink the sector. More than allowing us, it has forced us. This pandemic has had enormous economic consequences. The education market too, like all other markets, has been disrupted, straining the public sector. The only reason I'm calling it an education marketplace is due to the fact that the public funds have been shrinking while the private investments have been steadily rising. If the pain points have to be addressed, course corrections are necessary. For some changes that we are seeing now may be permanent in the post-COVID times. The breach caused by the virus has been filled to some extent by technology, which will continue to play an important role in educating the future generations. It has taught us that the teaching, learning pedagogies too must change as educators turn mentors and guides. So many countries around the world have never seen schools and educational institutions being locked down around the same time and for the same reason. The last it happened was in World War II. We know that the impact of the virus will be far-reaching and long-lasting. UNESCO estimates 1 billion people still out of schools as the world is struggling to limp back to normalcy. What must the rethink for education look like? What must we teach our children, and what should they be prepared for? Online delivery would stay for a long time. Blended and hybrid learning would make a strong presence. Of course, the pedagogies must change, but how must they change? How do we communicate with our students? How do we bridge the digital divide and narrow the equity gaps? A campus not only provides a learning environment, but the interaction with peers and people from other walks of life helps build the overall personality too. How do we replace such experience? While we seek answers to some of these questions, it is a good time to reflect on how this disruptive crisis can help us define what learning should look like for future generations. Majority of the children today have grown up in a truly globalized world, the oldest of whom is now 25 years old. They have faced closed classrooms, cancelled examinations, sporting events, fun of a campus, and even graduation days. However, they are technology savvy. Fear of being alone, FOBA syndrome, and fear of missing out, FOMO syndrome, does not bother them. In many cases, the parents have been affected more than the children. In a way, applications like instant messenger, Snapchat, and WhatsApp have filled the void. Today, technology is an extension of their consciousness and identity. Social media is a way of life for them. We are all in an interconnected world. There are no isolated issues and actions. Successful people and successful institutions in the coming decades must understand the interrelatedness, must collaborate and navigate across boundaries. Resilience and adaptability is crucial. Cognitive flexibility, adaptability, emotional intelligence, empathy, entrepreneurial skills, creativity, and critical thinking are all necessary. Lifelong learning must become a way of life. An opportunity lies in the fact that today's generation appreciates the power of working collaboratively to address challenges and are reasonably mature. Even as most live in non-traditional family structures, we have seen their collective responsibility to self-isolate and protect older members of the family. The parents on their part move obstacles out of the way to create a clear path for their children. While the children today may not appreciate the impact of the global pandemic on their education, its imprint will be difficult to erase. If the pandemic has had a profound effect on education, it has impacted employment markets even more. Dell Technologies report 85% of the jobs in 2030 that future generations will enter into have not been invented yet. The World Economic Forum reports 65% of primary school children today will be working in job types that do not exist yet. Add COVID to the distress, and we have a real challenge at hand. What must we do in future so we live well? The role of the educator must be redefined. An educator cannot be merely a knowledge giver and impart wisdom, since the students can access knowledge and even learn a technical skill through their smartphones, tablets, and computers. Educators must become facilitators, mentors, and guides. COVID-19 pandemic has compelled our schools, teachers, and institutions and their faculty to suddenly adopt the suite of available technological tools to create content for online learning for which they were never trained. Technology apart, we must ensure that education reaches all. Digital divide cannot derail our efforts of reaching the unreached. In future, there is going to be a lot less money to spend. Millions of children may not return to school, and the learning loss will exacerbate the inequalities. There are several technology-based solutions available, but EdTech alone will not be the great equalizer we are looking for. In spite of the technology, we have seen that the high-stakes examinations were unfair last year, this year, and maybe so for several more years to come. Public-private educational partnerships must grow in importance. Many learning consortiums and coalitions have been born in the last year and a half. Diverse stakeholders, including governments, publishers, education professionals, technology providers, and telecom network operators, have come together to use digital platforms as a temporary solution to the crisis. Post-COVID, they will remain and will continue to grow. We must embrace 5G technology as early as possible. This has enormous potential in realizing learning anywhere, anytime concept of digital education in multiple formats. In-person classroom learning that we know of can be augmented with new learning methodologies, from live broadcasts to educational influencers to virtual reality experiences. 5G could make learning a habit integrated as it is into our daily routines, creating an enabling lifestyle. It provides exciting prospects for both creation and streaming of innovative and intuitive content across platforms. However, access costs must decrease and quality of access must increase if the socio-economic equality is not to be further strained. Technology offers solutions. However, the digital divide could become complex if educational access is determined by access to devices and latest technologies. Both public and private sectors have important roles to play. Some of us may believe that this is unplanned growth and quick adoption of online learning with no training, insufficient bandwidth, and little preparation, and that it will create poor user experience. However, there are others who believe that a new hybrid model of education will emerge with significant benefits. These are challenges. Innovative approaches must emerge. Can our schools and colleges form unique partnerships with local broadcasting stations to offer educational broadcasts with separate channels focused on different ages and a range of digital options? Can media channels like Times Now or Star News or CNN not power virtual learning? Can we not have curriculum-based learning for our children and youth across the country, with celebrities across the entertainment and scientific worlds endorsing and also teaching some of the content? Friends, I have tried to enlist a few ideas for you to ponder upon. As far as COVID is concerned, we all know the coast is still not clear. Let's not invite a third wave. For the present, follow all the social norms, stay safe and stay healthy. Namaskar, till we meet the next Saturday.